Hey everyone, this is the Boys Pod. I'm Seb and this is Tom.
We're drinking beer. We're going to be having a chat whilst we're doing this podcast.
So
we don't even know how to get into it. Like, we've got our beer. Oh, hang on, wait. We've got our beer.
Yeah.
We've got our beer.
Got our beers. There you go.
So I wanted to talk to you about Life360 app.
Life360.
Life360 app. You're a user.
I am a user. It's alright, I guess. It's weird when you first start using it because you feel like you're being watched everywhere you go.
Everywhere you go.
But it's not so bad. I think it definitely depends why you're using it. You know? Like, you definitely have to feel comfortable with it and kind of accepting the fact that whoever's got the app as well, like with your account, can watch you whenever they want. That's kind of weird.
Your partner.
Your partner.
Your partner's definitely watching everything you do.
Definitely.
But it comes with its pros.
It does come with its pros because like you can set up notifications for like when people arrive wherever. So like with Kaz, I know when she gets to work safely in the morning and stuff. It's also helpful as well because it will tell me when she's leaving work. So if I haven't done fuck all around the house,
you're like running
I can
around,
sprint around and sort it out.
Whizzing, get some stuff done.
Yeah, I can sprint around and do a Hoover quickly.
Get a few things done during the day.
Yeah, exactly.
Quickly have a wank, get that over with.
Sometimes.
Just 10 you come up the driveway, you've got 5 more minutes.
Well, yeah, it lets me when she gets home as well.
It lets you know when she gets home.
So if I'm like mid-wank, I can finish it off.
So I had an ex-partner that had it, and it was perfect because you could tell like from 40 minutes away, like when they would like get away from work, so when they left work, because you could set up like a radius and all that.
Yeah.
I'm glad I don't have it now.
Did you not like it?
No.
Did you have it more for like a bad controlling reason? Not like you personally, but like it was there because of a...
It was handy, obviously, working in London, because at the same time we had like those terrorist attacks that were going on.
Yeah.
So like we had the shooters on the bridge.
Yeah.
On the actual London Bridge, the one next to Tower Bridge, the iconic bridge. I remember it happening at the time, and it was kind of like, oh shit, I need to know where you are, if you're okay. Check the app, saw I was moving out of London. It took us 2 hours that night to get out of London, and they could see that we were moving, and it was actually quite thoughtful and thankful that actually I'm moving, and there was no need to like panic and call like the police or anything, because we were right near it at the time.
I do kind of get that, because like sometimes if like Kaz is late home from work or whatever, and it gets to like half an hour later, and I'm like, oh Christ, she had like a car crash or something. I can check and see that she's like, on her way home, that she's just left work or something. So that is.
I'll get that. There is that kind of reassurance. Technology's got its advantages, but at the same time, do you think it could be used for like Chinese weather balloon shit?
Probably, most definitely. Although I'd imagine it's probably. I mean, if it can be used like that, I imagine it probably already is.
Yeah, of course.
I don't think they need to install Life360 to...
but what are they going to do with Seb's information?
That's kind of the funny thing, isn't it? You know, with the whole online tracking thing.
Yeah.
That's one thing that I always think about. People are always like, oh, don't want to accept cookies, don't want people to, mine my data and all this stuff. And as someone who makes websites, like, sometimes I feel like I should be a bit more, I don't know, thoughtful about that stuff.
Perhaps have more than just Windows Defender.
Yeah, like more of an opinion on it. But at the same time, I'm like, do I really care? You know when you get like retargeted ads?
Yeah.
And you've been on Sports Direct or whatever, and then for the next week you see like a pair of trainers pop up.
Yeah.
Like that sort of thing. That's
not because of Life360.
No.
That's because of Zuckerberg.
Yeah, that like in a way that sort of stuff is kind of cool.
Yeah.
But at the same time, people get up in arms about it, like, oh, I've been tracked, like they know I've been on Sports Direct and now I'm on Facebook or whatever. It's like, yeah, but do you really care?
Well, I've heard that they use them in the stores, don't they? They've actually got a device that's, when you look up at a shop roof, and you're in like an outlet, have like the RSJ with the lighting.
Yeah.
They got these little boxes, little modems they look like, and they believe they actually ping the information between the user's phone, because with Apple you've accepted that and everything like that. So, I believe that there's tracking advantages and stuff like that for marketing for yourself with the Life360 app. I think is because you can pay a subscription to those as well. You can have like a premium version.
Yeah, we don't pay for the premium one.
No, but that gives you like a lot more like speed.
Yeah, one of the main benefits of that is being able to, like you say, the speed thing, the crash detection, and also you can add like a load of locations on there as well. I think on the free version that we use, I think you're limited to like 4 locations.
Yeah,
and you You can add as many locations as you want, but you're limited to.
So you can tell when your bird's gone to like a pub or something, or like a McDonald's.
Yeah, but you're limited to the amount of notifications you can get from it.
Oh,
so
really?
Like,
okay.
I can only get notified that Kaz arrived or left work or arrived or left home.
Yeah.
But like, I can't set another one up to say like she's arrived at this house or whatever.
Yeah.
Because I'm limited to like two locations.
Okay, so you got the free stuff for the minute.
Yeah.
Do you reckon she'll go for premium?
I think if we had kids, she would.
She'd go for premium.
She'd be like, right, go all in on premium.
Going all.
Knowing when they're at school and like when they skip school.
I want to know where you are right now, and I get that, but you just put like an Apple tag on the bag or something.
Yeah, that's kind of.
I'm surprised it hasn't got to that point
well,
yet.
to be fair, have you noticed? I don't know if you've noticed, but people who have those Apple tag things, if you try and use one to follow someone, if it's not registered on your phone. After a while, it notifies you to say there's an Apple tag. It's been like
the iPhone's got a software that lets you know there's an Apple tag near you.
It'll basically notify you and say there's been an Apple tag in your vicinity for like the last 2 hours.
Yeah.
Like, is this you or whatever?
It's a great idea.
You're being followed.
You're being followed. You know that? Yeah, because I know there was a point there where they were actually using that everywhere. Like, especially on a woman, I saw she put it up on TikTok that she'd been followed with like an Apple tag, and she was like really scared because obviously she went home that day and everything, and everyone was like, "Well." The only way to deal with it is that you either tinfoil it up or you throw it somewhere.
Yeah.
I mean, throwing it, they're going to discard it and pick up anyway, so you destroy the evidence of that person you ever finding out who done it. Yeah. So you either tinfoil it and then keep hold of it because they're going to come.
How would you reckon that works? Actually, Tim, like how hard would you have to work to actually block the signal for one of those things?
I wouldn't want to say. I mean, I put it this way: Guy done it, didn't he? And he put them in like packages like in China or something. They got blocked over there immediately.
Oh really?
Yeah. Oh, the signal was blocked like straight away, I believe.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know, something about like that. I mean, but these little apps that you get, they are designed for family security, family sharing. Yeah. I mean, you can get like the Find My Phone app, can't you, with Apple
Do you know
accounts?
What? That one is weirdly worse than Life360.
Yeah, it's not accurate.
No, it's not as accurate, but it's also just a bit more like shit to use. Like it's really laggy.
The live streaming data from it, it's
like
got a
the
delay.
Live feed is so laggy.
Yeah, because we've had quite a few incidents up the road here with the motorway, and it obviously causing traffic. Olivia sometimes just come home from work. She says she's on her way. She's taking like 40 minutes. I thought, shit, I bet she had a crash. So I check it, and no, she's actually delayed. Yeah, like by the traffic, and it doesn't show that though. It doesn't show her moving or anything. Yeah, I get that. So you got any pros and cons to it then? What's your theory on it all? Do you like it?
I think overall it's definitely the sort of thing that can be used for good and bad. Yeah. I think if you're being like, I don't know, say you're a partner or whatever is trying to like coerce you into using it, it's probably not a good idea. Because I feel like there's a bit of an ulterior motive there.
But you can hide yourself, can't you?
You can, you can turn your location off if you need to. But I feel like if you're using it and you feel like you need to do that, you've probably got bigger issues going on. You know?
Yeah, you're hiding something.
You feel like you need to hide where you are.
Yeah, okay, that goes back to the old story of you're hiding something.
You probably need to sort your life out.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah.
But then, no, apart from that,
no. I think you just need to accept, like, some people don't like the whole, people know where I am at all times sort of thing. Yeah. But at the same time, it's like, it's not people, it's like your partner.
It's your partner, yeah, of course so it is. Family member or something,
Are you really that concerned that your wife, girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever, knows where you are?
No, not at all. Not at all. If you're going where you need to be going, you say you're going, there's no problem to hiding it anyway, is there? Exactly.
And like I say, like you said, if you're trying to hide it, I think you've got bigger problems. No, you need to like sort that out.
You do, yeah, that's it. If you've got something to hide, you've got something to hide.
No, I wouldn't have said there was a reason.
And it tells you to turn it off, doesn't it? It tells you that they've turned off system or something. Yeah, I believe they do. Yeah.
So I wouldn't have said there were really many cons to it.
No.
I think the only cons are the self-imposed ones. Self-imposed cons. Yeah. Like I say, if you're going into it for a bad reason, or you're going into it because something happens and you're not being trusted, or you don't trust someone, I think that's probably not the right direction.
No, that's not the solution. That's going back to the lines of me being 18 again. I don't want to be followed. All this.
Yeah, like that's not the solution to that problem, is it?
I think as time's gone on with social medias and all of that, and how apps are starting to track us with information and stuff like that, I think we've become more of an open society to being tracked.
I think it's a weird one because I feel like it's kind of gone 50-50 either way. And it's kind of weird because I feel like the people that fight against it really hard,
they're the ones that got something to hide.
Maybe, but I also, as someone that like I said, makes websites and kind of deals with this stuff on a daily basis. The way I look at it is people that don't want to be tracked, they're kind of fighting the inevitable.
They are
because we're going to get to a point where it's probably not going to be much of a choice.
No,
it's just going to be like
100%
a daily thing.
We're getting to a point in a minute where they want to bring, a banking system, CBDC in. It's going to track you anyway. It's going to track what you do, what you spend, how you buy it, where you got paid, what else goes on with your money, what you take cash out on.
Have you seen how they do that in China?
Yeah,
it's mental.
They do social monitoring as well, don't they? Social scoring.
I saw this thing where if you're, like with credit scores and stuff in China, if you're known to associate with someone with a bad credit score, it lowers your credit score. It lowers
your scoring, I have seen that. It comes with lots of other things as well. Walking across roads, jaywalking.
Yeah, I saw that the other day.
Jaywalking, you get your lower points.
Like lowers your...
And that actually has a major effect on you as a person.
Yeah.
Like you won't be able to go buy something.
No, you won't be able to get a mortgage and stuff
you can't enter areas.
No.
They're actually doing zones. I saw a video the other day of a guy who had to smile to enter the zone, and it counted his little profile picture, like in the camera and everything. Like when you do flash your passport and like border control in this country, it comes up with your picture. He's actually walked in, gone like that, and then it literally let him in. I thought that's terrible. You're going to have to
that's a little bit of like a dystopia.
That's Black Mirror, isn't it?
That's a little bit Black Mirror.
Black Mirror. Yeah. That's what it's coming to.
Yeah.
So my theory on all of it is, there's no matter if your partner tracking you or your mum tracking you. It's inevitable. It's coming to a point. Yeah. We're all going to be tracked eventually.
Oh, that's kind of how I feel. I've kind of just accepted the fact that I'm going to be tracked.
I'm
just kind of like, it's not like I'm all in on like, track me. It's just kind of like, I don't really fight against it.
No, I don't think that...
Because I feel it's a little bit of a losing battle.
It's coming to a point anyway. Vehicles can be tracked. They're getting to a point where they're thinking with these new vehicles, like... the police be able to shut them off.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Tesla can already do that.
Tesla can do that already, can't they? So it's coming to a point where it tracks you. You track your Tesla.
Yeah.
I can track our car, Audi. So like I can, if I get lost in a car park, I can find it. It's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant, unless the multi-story's got no service.
True.
But at the same time, if my partner went out on a mood and she took the car, I could, if I was that kind of person, I could go find her.
Yeah.
And then it just brings that insecurity even further and all that. So at the same time, it has its pros and it has its cons.
It does.
If it's in the right hands.
Although I think sometimes the cons are more sort of person oriented. They're more down to the sort of insecurities and problems of the people themselves rather than the technology itself.
It's the person.
Yeah, I think a lot of the time
it's the holder, isn't it? It is that phone holder.
Yeah.
Using it for the right and wrong things.
Definitely.
But that's what I'd like to go to. I'd like to see if any of our viewers have got anything to say on that. So I'd like to see if we've got anything to talk about that. If there's anyone out there who's got anything to talk about similar situations.
It would be good to find out, because I don't really know anyone else who uses stuff like that.
No,
it's only me, really.
Is there any people out there that have ended up being in bad situations where they've been caught, triggered?
That would be good to know.
Domestic abuse by using these apps.
It'd be good to know how people feel about using it as well. Because for me, I do feel a little bit self-conscious of admitting that I have it.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
I don't really know why.
But you opened up to me about it, and I was kind of like, oh, not many people let them know their partners track them.
Yeah, it is one of those, because I think I feel a little bit like I don't care that I use it, but then in a weird way, I'm self-conscious that other people have
Some people would have their opinions. Yeah, of course they would. A lot
of
people go, fucking hell, dude, why'd you let her track you? Or why are you tracking her? Like, are you like that, like, abusive boyfriend? And it would give you the wrong stereotypical...
I think that's the thing. I think that's kind of...
You're worried about being stereotypicalised for something that's not actually your idea.
Yeah, exactly.
But you're happy to go along with it.
Or, I think it's either one of the two things. It's either like, you're the guy who wants to know where she is all the time, which isn't the case, or you have a partner who wants to know where you are all the time.
Yeah.
And it's neither of those.
No, it's neither of those.
I think that's people's first thought.
No, because she doesn't come across like that. She doesn't come across like she'd be like an overpowering person.
No.
I mean, we don't know what goes on behind closed doors, do we?
True.
But at the same time, you're more of an own spirit anyway. I'm sure you would ever got to a point like that. You would just go, look, I'm deleting the app.
I'll just turn it off.
Bygone, be bygone. Exactly.
Turn it off, delete it.
Yeah.
Job done.
And it works. I suppose it works. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. But yeah, like I say, I'd like to see what our viewers have to say about that. I'd like to see if anyone's got any like evidence or anything ever happening to them. Like if they ever had a problem with it, if they ever had like anyone like use it against them.
I think for me, I've never had a bad experience with it necessarily. No. So I think it'd be good to know. I can assume quite confidently there have been.
Yeah.
There have been bad experiences with it. So it would be good to to hear some of those, I suppose.
Yeah, of course it would be.
Yeah.
So if anyone's got anything out there, just drop us an email, or drop a comment, and we'd like to hear about it. And just we'll get in touch and we'll go from there. We'll get you a comment up, and we'll go from there and divulge from there.
Sounds good.
But anyway, anything else come out in the news last week was Garry Glitter was sent back to prison.
He's been out about 5 minutes.
5 minutes in his life, and the man don't learn.
I don't think he could.
I'm going to add this up on the screen. Garry Glitter was let out on a bail and basically was allowed to go and reform with other paedophiles in this building. He was allowed to try and build his civilization back out to members of the public. And the man's 70 years old, very famous singer from back in the day. Made one of the good popular songs that made it on Joker. The only problem is that the man is a paedophile who tried to attempt rape on girls under the age of 15 years old many years ago. My views on it: the man shouldn't have been allowed out of prison. Prison hasn't worked as a rehabilitational service. He was caught using a mobile device, smart mobile device, I shall say. They're not allowed. They're allowed to have forms of communication with other people because they're gonna have friends in that when they come out.
Sure.
But he got hold of a smartphone.
Yeah.
So many things can go wrong with this.
Didn't need a smartphone.
No, didn't need a smartphone. So we've got access to the internet straight away, and we've got access for photography.
Yeah, it is a bit of a weird one. In fact, he was only out for a month.
Yeah,
and it is almost comes across. I mean, we obviously don't know from his point of view, but
at this point, he doesn't have a point of view.
True.
He is a paedophile.
It kind of comes across as if he was just gagging for it. He got out and he just he couldn't resist.
He couldn't resist. He just wouldn't learn.
He'd been locked up for, I don't even know how long he was locked up for. Was it 5 years?
It was a long time, yeah.
I think he went and got sentenced.
He got sentenced. It took a long time.
I want to say 2015 or something.
Yeah, I think it was along those lines.
I don't know for sure, but that sounds right.
No, but the rehabilitation has clearly not worked for them. Or groomer, I shall say. He was caught using this device, and he was caught trying to access the dark web.
I wonder what he was doing that for.
He's on the dark web. Apparently it was to somehow get hold of personal information of victims. Apparently so.
That already sounds terrible.
The best one for this is the Independent. The best one has been the Independent. They have been fully open, disclosed all of it, and they have remarkably called the man a paedophile. Whereas other tabloids have tried to beat around the bush by trying to call him more left words, I shall say, more.
What, like troubled?
He was a troubled person, yeah.
He's a troubled man.
My theory on all of it personally is we all know who Garry Glitter is in the UK.
True.
He is basically a Jimmy Savile.
He is essentially just I
I
want to say a poor man's Jimmy Savile.
He is a poor man's Jimmy Savile. He looks like what was it you called him? You said
he was like a homeless yogi or something.
Homeless yogi.
Like a life coach. That was
life coach. That's it. Yeah, he's like a homeless life coach. Like
this
man's the kind of thing that you'd have in like your peers groups.
Yeah.
Like trying to tell you what to do with your life.
Yeah. And he's going home and living in a box.
He's going home. Maybe he's going back to this place in Gosport, wasn't it? Down by the south end coast. Down by the south coast. He's going back to this place, and he's
like a B&B or something.
Yeah, but what do you call them? Like where you go and set like hostel sort of thing, like one of those. Hostel, yeah. I mean, we'd already had problems with the members of public wanted to get in there and basically smash his head in. Which is fair enough. You know, there are many parents out there very defensive over their sons and daughters, and then these are people that deal with it. Plus, you'd have had the parents of the offences that were committed to their children as well that probably found out where he was going. Yeah. Second thing is they put him in there with loads of others.
Oh, it was just like a little get-together.
I think it was pretty much like a get-together. It was like a protective area that they kind of look after, and they live in a community themselves.
They're all just sharing trade secrets or whatever.
Exactly. I mean,
that's an odd one, isn't it? Because it's like, on the one hand, you think maybe that is the best place for them all to rehabilitate together.
Have you ever seen the film The X-Files, the latest one they ever done?
Which one was the latest
I Want to Believe.
Yeah.
And it had Billy Connolly starring in it.
Oh yeah, I forgot he was in that.
Billy Connolly stars, and it's shameful because Billy Connolly's a fantastic comedian, writer, actor. He played as a paedophile in it.
I don't remember that at all.
Yeah, no, you won't. And I recently watched it. Partner and I recently watched it, and he's a paedophile in it. And he lives in a community, small, tight community inside of it. Yeah, he because he's a priest, isn't he? He's able to see these see past.
I'm gonna have to rewatch that because I don't remember that.
You are gonna have to rewatch. I swear down. And when you find out, you'll be so broke heart. You'll be like, oh no, not Billy Connolly. Like,
when did that film come out? must have been like
2009, I
was going to
believe.
say 2009.
2008,
So it wasn't
2009,
that
something
recent,
like.
was it?
No, not that long ago. But there's a similar thing in there. They live as a community, and it's quite actually shameful, really, because we allow this. But like you just said, they can all mingle together.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes you wonder if he has managed to get hold of a smartphone within a month of being out of prison.
I feel like that should have been harder.
A lot harder.
Yeah.
That man shouldn't have been able to get hold of a smartphone unless someone keysted it into that premises.
No.
It makes you wonder what other technology is in that place.
I imagine a fair amount.
I bet they've got fucking iPads and everything flying around in there.
Probably.
So it makes you wonder, does the staff that are in these places, guards, staff, security, whatever they are, do they need to be more tougher? Do they need to be doing more searches? What are we talking about?
That is a tricky one because I feel like, I mean, maybe I've just watched too much TV, but I feel like the people getting that stuff in there, the guards
themselves would be getting a good payoff.
So
yeah,
it's like,
I mean, Garry Glitter would have had to fork out quite a bit of money for something like this. He'd have done a major favour.
True.
Because this isn't something you just land overnight. You'd have had to have got some information off of someone and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's true. Speaking of that, actually, it reminds me of something I read a while ago. I've read online about groups of, I can't remember how they term themselves, but it's something like pre-offenders.
Pre-offenders, yeah.
They're like groups of like pedos, I guess, before they've acted on it.
Right,
and apparently they get together in like meetings and stuff and try and help each other not give in to the urges. Sounds weird, I know. And apparently the one rule they have is if you've offended, you can't be part of the group. So they shun actual pedos.
But they're going to be future pedos anyway.
If they have the urge of a pedo, I guess, then they kind of help each other not give in to the urges. Now that's a weird one because I'm like, on the one hand, is that a good thing or not? You know, where'd you go with that?
I actually don't know what to say to this because this is actually remarkable. I didn't even know something like this actually happened. Yeah. I'm stunned. I'm absolutely stunned. I didn't know there was actually a thing like these people are pre-offenders, pre-offenders.
Pre-offenders, yeah.
And they're getting together and they're right. Okay, fair enough. We're all up for buddy system of helping each other out and all that, and you know, saying, "Oh, bud, I'm in such a major problem here. I'm going to get myself into debt. I need a bit of hand. I need like 20 quid to bail me out today and all that." But like,
it's kind of like AA.
It's not like AA. It's not like AA.
Okay, right. The concept is similar. in the sense that
sitting down in the peers group. Alright, guys, I got this real bad urges the other day.
It's basically peer support for pre-offending pedos. So it's like,
can't even say fair play to them. You know, you
well, like I said, on the one hand, it's kind of good because they kind of stop each other.
But should that be regulated by police constables?
That's the tricky thing.
Because you're looking at incitement, aren't you?
Yeah.
And you're looking at something that's going to happen, that could potentially happen. We could be talking to someone right now that could potentially have those urges and could actually go and commit crime.
Yeah.
And we don't know.
I think the tricky thing about it is that the second you involve any sort of law, you have to start taking down names.
100%.
And I think that's what puts a lot of them... I mean, if you were a guy who... How do I put it? A pre-offending pedo.
Yeah.
You're technically not a pedo, but you probably deep down want to be.
You want to be, yeah.
You probably don't want anyone knowing that, right? Other than maybe other people
not
that
at
like
all.
You.
Well,
so I think that's where the tricky bit comes in, because it's like as soon as you start regulating it, they need to take.
Well, they're not going to take, but they're not going to take people in anyway, are they? No, if it's regulated anyway, and they know it's a governing body, and but what I'm trying to say is that they need to have informants in these groups. They need to have someone that is undercover that is in these groups, because I'm telling you now that is quite. That's quite remarkable. I mean, you've got MI5, MI6.
Do you reckon
they deal with but they deal with terrorism.
Yeah.
So counter-terrorism and everything like that. They are listening constantly, 24/7. They've got the same with the FBI, CIA, and anywhere else in the world. They've got a system, an algorithm that works out, uses certain keywords, voices, goes through family, uses all of this to identify terrorism and anything that's immediately meant to happen. I mean, if we look at the MI5, MI6 this year, they managed to disclose quite a couple of hundred potential terrorist attacks. Last year was a couple of thousand.
Yeah.
these groups that you're saying of child offenders, there needs to be some sort of system in place here that's preventing this from happening.
Because I suppose the issue is, you can imagine someone who is an offender sort of lurking into one of these groups and almost tempting the people that haven't offended into offending.
Yeah, it's like going to, like you say, an AA meeting, going to an alcoholic group
and offering people
and
a
actually
drink.
going, do you want to come back for a party afterwards? I mean, that's in a film.
I'm going to a pub after.
I'm going to the boozer after. Come, first night and everything. Let's go for a drink.
Yeah, that is the.
You got Tony, who's been 30 years clean of whiskey. Yeah. You've got him, his lips wrapped around the bottle straight away, and he can't help it. He's swallowing that like it's fucking nectar. I mean, you're telling me that's not right. That is not right.
That is the tricky bit.
Yeah. So now we're going to go over meme of the week, which is MikeOHearn. And I want to go through a couple of...
The many memes of Mike.
No, and I'll do it at least by lunchtime.
It's the pure confidence on his face.
Oh, he's just...
It's like that mix of
love his hair.
Smugness and confidence.
His hair is absolutely brilliant.
I don't know why he looks so relaxed as well. It's weird.
Doctor doing my prosthetics. Try not to come. Cashier your terrorist. It's 10 and keep the change.
It's the stare. He doesn't even blink.
No, he's got no eyelids. I love this one.
He falls off the stage.
He's in like builder boots and all. He's in Kanye West.
He looks like a lumberjack.
So the pregnant lady needs a seat. Off the leg day. My grandparents are. I look last time I saw my grandpa. I look at him. God damn, he a man.
Big boy.
Absolute unit of a bloke. Casual card. You too.
Oh, it's so good.
He's perfect.
I think it's the side, doesn't it?
Music is perfect.
It is, isn't it?
My mum wondering where I am at dinner time, booked for 8. Looking in the bathroom mirror after getting out of the shower. They got me crying there in his hair.
I love how he's so confident.
Oh, he is just.
He thinks
teeth, pale
he's
white.
The best man in the world.
He is though.
To be fair,
he is the best man.
Wrong, is he?
He is like today's Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah. Don't forget, fun fact: he's completely natural.
He is completely natural. That man's figure.
He's never touched
is
in his life.
Look at it.
Look at the vein.
Look at it. And what is he? You said he was
54.
54 years old.
Mate, I don't even look half that good now.
Fucking hell. So that's going to end it this week. I hope you've enjoyed. Anything you want to say on that, Seb?
Well, it's the first one, so
it is the first one.
Go easy, I guess.
Go real easy.
Go easy.
Like, no fucking dislikes, please. Like, before you even get wiped off, like,
Don't
YouTube's algorithm.
Destroy us in the algorithm.
No. Give us comments, give us support, tell us what you think, what would be better. We know we need to do better lighting. We need to sort out our camera angling. What else do you reckon we need to do?
I'd be very happy to know the parts we were shit at.
Oh, 100%.
I really want to know the parts we're bad at.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, constructive criticism, not just like, you suck,
you suck,
dick,
you're absolutely shit, like, your voice is a bollocks, like, what are you wearing, like, what is that in the background, like, it's fuck all. We know it's nothing. We need more. We're going to put more to it.
Posters.
We're going to need some posters. We've got the posters, we just haven't got the frames. I've had the posters for about 8 years. I just have never framed them. But we want to know, there is meant to be another person that joins us for this show, but he's not able to make it today. He is busy working, and we thought, well, we can't wait to hold out. We've got to keep it going.
True. We'll get it started.
We'll get it started, but at the same time, this is a podcast that's fueled with alcohol. Yes. So what could be better?
Not a whole lot.
No. Anyway, ciao, y'all.